Hi everyone, it's Andrea over at Sewspire.com. Today I am here to show you how to create the interior center zippered wet bag that we are going to be incorporating into our collaborative beach bag design. Y'all voted and I put together a little chart showing the most popular features, so we're going to work those all into the bag design. For the next few videos, we're going to be working on the interior, and then once we get that done, we'll move to the exterior. So shall we get started? Okay, we're going to begin with the interior center zippered wet bag pocket. And so for that, you're going to need to cut out 2 rectangles of cotton fabric, which measure 20 inches wide by 15 inches tall, and then 2 rectangles in the same size of a cotton laminate, or what they call a PUL fabric. And so the PUL fabric is a little softer and it's used to make cloth diapers. The cotton laminate, of course, comes in more choices color-wise. You can even get it in really fun prints. So because the red matches the color scheme that I have going, that's what I'm going to go with. And this is a cotton laminate, so on one side is just cotton fabric, and then on the top is a waterproof laminate barrier. So you're going to have 2 of these and 2 of the cotton squares. And to begin, you're going to position 1 cotton square and 1 laminate, not square, rectangle, right sides facing, and then stitch down both sides down the 15-inch side. And I have already done that with 1 here. The top and the bottom edges of this will be folded inward and pressed. Just be mindful, you cannot press this laminate, so always work on the cotton side. Otherwise, you'll melt the fabric and ruin your iron. So we want to head over to the machine and stitch these sides. Now they recommend that you don't put pins in the laminated cotton, so you can use clips or you can just line it up as you sew, which is what I'm going to do. And for this, I'm using 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, I've stitched down both short sides there, and I want to turn this right side out. And then at the iron, I'm going to press this flat on the cotton side and then tuck the top and the bottom edge under to create a nice finished edge, and I'm going to press that on the cotton side. Okay, so I have pressed that and I essentially have a nice tidy rectangle here, and I had already prepared the second rectangle. Now we want to create these little flaps that we're going to insert at the base of this, and they're going to be used like kind of like wings, so we can attach this to the interior of the bag. So for the little wings, I'll call them, it's a 19-inch wide by 6-inch tall rectangle or strip of cotton fabric. And you're going to fold that in half and then just stitch the sides. Sewn up the sides. Now I want to turn this right side out. And head back over to the iron, press that flat, and tuck that top edge inward about 1/4 inch and press that so I have a nice finished strip. Alright, and you should have 2 of these little wings, and when they're all pressed up, they measure approximately 2 1/4 inches tall by 18.5 inches wide. Okay, so we'll set aside our little wings, and then we want to take a separating sport zipper And separating means that you can take it apart at the end. So like this would normally be used for a jacket. So you go ahead and initially have that attached. This is a 22-inch zipper. I just happen to have that on hand. If you can get an 18-inch sport zipper, that's ideal. I'm going to go ahead and cut mine, and I thought I would show you how to do that just in case you too just happen to have a bigger zipper on hand. So this end here with the stopper, you can't cut that because you need the stopper. We want to insert this inside of that top edge between the laminate and the cotton. So I am going to take into account that I'm going to slip that inside of there, and then I want to trim this zipper at the 18 3/4 inch mark. Don't use your best scissors, but they will have to be sharp. So go ahead and open up the pole, because you have to leave that on the zipper, and then just cut right through those rungs or teeth like that, and it goes through it no problem. And you can set that aside. Just make sure that that zipper pole is in, and then you can insert the zipper in between those layers. And for this, you really are going to have to use pins. I know you don't like to poke through that laminate, but it will be okay, I promise. And then you're going to take your second laminated panel, and you'll insert the zipper on that other edge, aligning everything, and it's just going right in between those two layers. And the same thing, you just pin that so it stays in place. Okay, so I just want to test that, make sure it opens and closes nice, and it does. Now, be super careful that when you're testing this, you don't just unzip it, because you're going to be left holding your zipper pull. If that happens, the first thing you're going to do is separate the whole zipper, and then you're going to have to attach that zipper pull from the base again. So that's a little tricky. The best thing is just hold onto that pull and do not zip it off of the edge. So I'm going to head over to the machine and stitch the zipper in place on the right and left hand side. And to sew on zippers, I just adjust the needle position. You can use a zipper foot if you want. I don't. I just move the needle all the way to the left. Okay, so I have attached the zipper securely. On this side I have the cotton fabric, and on this side I have the nice water resistant laminate. So I'm going to go ahead and fold that in half with the zipper towards the top, and then just tuck in your bottoms if they came undone. And take your two little wings that we made, and so there is still an open edge on these wings. That's fine. Go ahead and line up the wings like that with the open edges at the bottom, and you're just going to position those just right inside that bottom edge. So we're going to have a layer here, which is your top part of your wet bag with the cotton and the laminate, and then two little wings, and then your bottom layer of the wet bag, which is the laminate and the cotton. So you're going to put pins on the end through all of those layers, and just try and keep everything lined up. You need the wings here at the bottom to be the same distance, okay? So those, if you can imagine, are going to open up like that, and then we'll be able to use these wings to attach it to the interior of the bag. So right now I just want to stitch all the way across that bottom layer, Okay, I've gone ahead and attached the little wings to the bottom there, so that open edge is here, which is fine. It'll get closed up when we attach it to that base interior panel. And now I just want to line up the sides and stitch as close as I can to that zipper all the way down so that I close this up. Okay, I have closed up the sides, and I essentially have a very large, wonderful, finished wet bag. If you just wanted to create a big wet bag to use with another bag, just leave off these bottom winglets and you'd be good to go. The one thing that I have to do though, because I cut this zipper, is create a little fabric stop here, or the first time I zip the zipper with gusto, I'm losing that zipper head. So I just took a piece of fabric that's 3 inches wide by 5 inches long, and I pressed up all the edges. So then I have a piece that's 1.5 inches by about 4.25 inches, and it's finished on that edge, and then the raw edges are here. I just want to fold that in half and position it right over the top of that zipper there. Try and make the sides even, and then I'm just going to go in with the machine and stitch this in place. Okay, so I've attached that little stopper. I just kind of sewed in a U there, and you'll see that's going to keep me from zipping off that zipper pull just like that. So this is going to be the big center interior pocket. We're going to use these little wings to attach that to the base panel, and then you'll be able to store anything like, wet swimsuits in there, or even leaky things. You could even use it as like a cooler area, anything that with condensation. So it's going to be a very, very useful feature on the bag. In the next video, we're going to be framing out and creating the mesh pocket, which will also go on the inside. And I hope to get to that early next week. I do have to go shopping for the mesh. So as soon as I have that in hand, we'll record that and we'll start assembling the interior as well. Until I see you again, please know the creative genius in me celebrates the creative genius in you. Have a beautiful day, everyone.